Welcome back, everyone, to Haven of Horror. As always, I'm Subject. We are back with our regular programming. Robert decided that he missed the channel after all, and was like, I can't quit. Um,
It's true. It's in my bones.
how was your week off for anybody who wasn't here yesterday when we finished
Yeah, it
the
was good.
Gone of Days?
Yeah. I watched some movies, including 28 years later, The Bone Temple, which won't be discussed much tonight as John has not seen it yet. So
Correct.
no spoilers for that in the live chat. But yeah, I'm doing well and ready to rewatch this movie.
Yeah. So we originally were gonna do Buffy tonight, but we had to postpone that by a week. We needed something to do, and I was like, you know what? The Bone Temple just came out. Let's do 28 years later. It is on Netflix in the United States. So, in case you couldn't tell from the thumbnail, the video description, the title, the background, that is what we are watching tonight. So, everybody gets 28 years later, not to be confused with 28 days or weeks later to timestamp 0. Tyler says he's still waiting on the 28 days count. We did days.
That's true. Did we do it? We did a double feature of that in weeks,
Yeah,
right?
because Noah did days with us, but then had to miss weeks. And we watched weeks, and we were like, "Oh God, this movie sucks."
Uh, yeah, no, I don't hate that movie, but yeah, watching it back to back was like,
Yeah, downgrade. Uh, so yeah, I have questions after watching this one, and I do have some disappointments that don't ultimately affect my opinion of the movie. But this is a movie that I've been waiting since '02 for. Because Weeks wasn't really what I wanted. This is talking about 28 days, not 28 days later. What is that?
Oh,
What is that?
yeah, that is an unrelated motion picture.
Okay, is it a horror movie?
No,
Then you're gonna be waiting a long time.
but you never know.
Robert and Hayden will do that one by themselves. All right. So get to timestamp 0 of 28 years later, and we'll talk more about that as the film progresses. Are you ready, sir?
I'm ready.
In three, two, one, play.
Yeah, I feel like if you've been on film YouTube for a while or like social media film discourse for a while, the idea of this film I feel like was just talked about forever. It,
Well,
it it always came up of like, are they gonna come back and do another one?
yeah. Well, so I can't speak for them. I mean, I know that that's been, people have been waiting for this. But for me, it was like, I like 28 Days Later. I don't love it like some people do. It's definitely not my favorite undead film. Um, but I was invested in the characters and I wanted to see what happened. So 28 weeks later was kind of a disappointment because it's more generified and it's all new characters. So when this was finally announced, I was like, okay, cool. We got the original guys back. We're gonna get back to basics, and that's not what this is. So real quick, I want to complain about people's reactions to this movie because all I heard was the Power Rangers ending. They are not Power Rangers except for the most surface level. If anything, they're Teletubbies.
Yes.
And I don't feel like anybody put that together. That's why he has them dressed like that. So this feels like the opening of 28 Weeks Later.
Yeah,
Just
I
in
could see that.
structure and idea.
It's a similar opening to that of we're just going. There's an immediate intensity to it, and we're
I
28 weeks later. I think we all agree the opening scene is the best part of that movie.
Yes. So Tyler says he has not seen the Bone Temple. Did you like it? Real quick before you answer that though, he says this movie is good, but not great, and I find the ending scene a little jarring. So I watched this today. I meant to watch it last night, but I got roped into doing something else. I had an epiphany with this movie, Robert. This scene and the ending scene are the bookends for the next movie in the trilogy. If you just cut those two scenes off, you have a complete film.
Yes.
That's why that
And
ending feels so jarring, because it only exists to set up the next one. It doesn't actually connect to the rest of this film.
yeah, it's something I'm very much of two minds of. It's if I want this film to be more self-contained and complete on its own, I think there is a version of the next film that could work with the bookends just saved for the next one. But as is, like I'm used to it. Like I'm fine with it.
It didn't
Um,
bother me. I can see why people found it jarring, but like even the end, I don't find that tonally inconsistent. This movie gets really goofy. The
oh, it's
alpha
weird.
is goofy.
I love the alpha.
I love the alpha. It's a goofy idea.
Hmm. Yeah, because you do jumping ahead, but the idea of like the evolution of the
This is a
virus
cool
is
idea
pretty cool.
where this
Yeah,
pastor is like decided, no, this is what we deserve.
he calls it the Day of Judgment. He thinks it's end times.
This is a Romero idea.
Yes, it's so cynical and bleak. And is the origin story of this Jimmy character, who you will see a lot more in the next movie.
Yeah.
And I do, for this film though, I do like this prologue just because it does give you the framework of we're jumping back to the beginning, and then you get the 28 years later title card at the bottom. So it at least has like that similar framework the original had.
Yeah. Well, and what I love too is this movie goes 28 weeks later, that didn't happen.
Yeah, I'm almost shocked. Like if this were Star Wars, if this were like a bigger studio IP, there would totally be tie-in novels and shit to like explain what happened in between and make Weeks canon and fix
Well,
it. But as is, it's like whatever.
what's funny is there are tie-in comics connecting days to weeks. Because I don't know if I still have it, but
That is true.
somewhere I have the omnibus, and it's all about the woman from Days. I can't remember her name, but it's about her like coming back to England. Yeah, here it is. The British were mainland was contained. That is not what happened in weeks. But I love this idea of just because I think it's almost scarier. Is yeah, we just erased England. Like it no longer exists.
the the big through line of this movie, beyond just the main central story of these characters, that I think you may not pick up on all the nuances if you're like us, not British. It's like the central theme of this movie is like a rectifying, it's a reckoning of Britain's past, the good and the bad. It's like what we are seeing is like the post literal collapse of the modern British Empire, and like
Yes.
what do they look like after that?
Well, and
And
what I
there's
sorry,
yeah, no, that was basically it.
what I appreciate about that is when we went back to Weeks, it felt like it could have been anywhere. There's nothing in that movie that
Yeah.
like is about it being England.
Mhm.
And I wonder if Danny Boyle saw that film and went, "What?"
And I love this community, like everything about this. You got we're back to hunting with bows and arrows. Like it's very primitive. It's like literally taking us, or at least in this case, the British, like literally back to basics,
One
a pre-empire.
and I think that's some of the stuff that stuck out for me the most is just this is a survival movie, end of the world, coming of age movie, really.
Mhm.
Although I have questions about people's read on this film. But real quick, Tyler says that Aaron Taylor Johnson probably gives his least favorite performance, which is strange for a movie. I mean, is that strange? Like he's kind of generic most of the time. I don't think he's bad in this movie. I think he's just overshadowed by Jodie Comer and the kid and
Yeah,
Fiennes. Is that how you say his
Ray
last
Fine.
name?
Ray
Fiennes.
Fiennes.
Who is he is in another movie.
He is incredible. Yeah. Yeah. Without getting anything away, you do get a lot more of him in the next movie.
I figure because he's on all the
Um,
posters.
Right. So back to your Power Rangers point, we literally have a Power Ranger here, and our
Okay,
good friend from
Can I?
Devolution complained about this scene, and I'm sure you have a similar
Yes.
complaint.
Can I? Okay. That is an Operation Overdrive toy. Operation Overdrive isn't until the mid to late 2000s. That is towards the end of the Disney era. If 28 Days Later happens in real time, the last, because that's what, 02, 03? The last Power Ranger series that could have possibly happened is, that's like the start of the Disney era. That toy cannot exist.
The rest of the world is moving on like normal. Maybe Power Rangers continues to be produced, and somehow this kid gets his hands on that action figure.
Yeah,
That needs
so
the tie-in comic to explain it.
2002 2003, that is Wild Force or Ninja Storm. Operation Overdrive, that is the toy of, is 2007. Nerd ran over. So all I heard from this movie was that he runs away because this guy's a bad dad. That is not how I read this film.
That's really oversimplifying it.
Yeah. Honestly,
It's
like
also...
I get that it's a coming of age story, and so that the kid has to.
Yeah.
Up until the kid runs away, I'm kind of on the dad's side.
Yeah, I mean the dad is very flawed. I mean everybody in this movie is flawed, but no, I think Aaron Taylor Johnson's very good in this movie. The best performance I think I've seen from him is Nosferatu. He
No.
really giant.
Kick ass.
Are you gonna say great? Well, okay. Yeah, Kick-Ass is great. That's just such a different thing for me. It's hard for me to reconcile that that's that guy.
No, I can't say
it's
Craven
a
because I
different
haven't seen
career.
that. Tyler says that I'm the only one that would notice that. Yes, I'm the only person on the planet that watches Power Rangers.
No, but I think he's very good here. But just given the very structure of the story, he's only really in the first third. You know, he's not in the film a lot.
Now,
because this is Spike's story, you know.
You can tell me this if you feel like it. Is he in the next one? Or does that spoil things?
I mean, if you're asking sincerely, like you want to know.
Yeah, I'm asking. But unless it spoils something.
He's not in the next one, and that really surprised me.
Oh.
You just don't check back in with this community.
Weird.
Yeah, you just have to see it for yourself. I'm not gonna say like if anything's implied or not implied. We just don't check back in with him.
So she's really good, and she's in that new
amazing.
Alone in the Dark game that I want to play on the channel at some point. That's her and
nice.
David Harbour.
Oh, right on. Yeah, I believe Jodie Comer. I think she was like one of the finalists for Sue Storm in the Fantastic Four reboot.
Oh, okay.
First Steps. I mean, Vanessa Kirby was great, so like I'm not complaining, but I think she almost got it.
Well, and obviously her most notable role is Rey's mother in Rise of Skywalker.
I always forget that. That's so funny.
I didn't know that until I looked her up just to see if I'd seen her in anything else. Because it's like this woman's like really good. Surely I've seen her in something. I haven't.
Star Wars.
Well, that, but.
But yeah, she's fantastic here, and it's just a really good story here about a kid and his mom.
Yeah. Well, and what I like too is this isn't a feel-good movie. Like, it reminds you by the end, no, life sucks.
No, the focus in this one, you know, we have a community here that's more or less gotten their shit together. You know, they have a system. Like, they have a structure. He has a school that he goes to. That people have different jobs. Like, there is a structure to this community.
This is what I wanted from the Walking Dead's later stuff when they start to rebuild society. Because I know in the show they just like take over a town and kind of just live in old houses that are somehow pristine these many years after the apocalypse.
Yeah. Well, you do get to a status quo in The Walking Dead that's very similar to this movie. It just takes a while to get there.
Um, also,
But
for shot on an iPhone, this movie has some better cinematography than half the movies I saw last year.
I know this movie looks insane. I love
There are a few shots later on that I can tell it's a phone, and I don't like some of them because half of the shot is out of focus. But I'm sure that's on purpose, like they're doing something. I don't like the way it
yeah,
looks.
yeah. I'm fine with it. Danny Boyle is just a very experimental
And
director, and it's
this movie gave us the best thing to ever happen to fan edits, which is boots, boots.
yes. Yeah, I believe this is the sequence for that
Yes,
song kicks
which
in.
is very
So
jarring
good.
because out of nowhere they splice in like war footage and shit.
Yeah, it's very strange. It's like old timey British film
Yeah,
footage, um, which I think is just meant to contrast, where we were and kind of how we're coming full circle, because we're getting back to a very medieval
yeah.
kind of status quo. But yeah, that song choice. Oh, sorry. Go ahead and read that.
Tyler says, "Do you think we'll get part three?" You had said they already greenlit it, right?
It is greenlit.
Okay.
So as of this recording, it is happening. Hopefully, they don't pull the plug on it.
No, because if they do, then I'm gonna cry foul because they should have never planned this as a trilogy.
Or at the very least, just greenlight all three and say, yeah, like you're either all in or you're not.
Yeah. So I listen to this particular song on YouTube all the time. It's so good.
Yeah. So this is a 1903 poem by Rudyard Kipling, uh, about just the monotony of war. Uh, and like this old timey wars. Like this is before World War One. And then this recording specifically is from 1915. So over 100 years old and my understanding is like that was a marketing choice for that trailer, and then it caught on so well that they then put it in the movie, and like bravo whoever's idea that was,
Yeah. No,
because that
this
trailer was incredible.
recording is the single best thing that's happened to fan edits and trailers. Because I sent you that one for The Last of Us. It's so good.
Mm-hmm.
It there's this intensity to it. I don't know if I would have used it here personally. I think this would have made like the scene where they're running from the alpha or something more intense, but
Yeah, I understand its purpose here. It's literally marching off to war.
yeah.
He's walking into the unknown, and I like this ritual coming of age idea of like once you've hit a certain age, you got to go out into the real world, to kind of prove yourself.
It's very
And,
it's very God of War 2018 because that's the start of that
oh,
game is
absolutely.
you're playing as Kratos and you take Atreus out hunting.
Mhm.
I like the version that we got, but it kind of would have been cool if the movie was just these two out on a quest in this
Yeah, I
apocalyptic
think
world.
that's yeah, I think that's what a lot of us expected us to be, and it would have been the more conventional story. I think just because that idea is very popular right now.
Yeah. I think like I wouldn't have minded that, but I think retroactively I'm kind of glad they didn't because like I love that story trope. I don't know how many more of those I can watch in a row
Yeah,
without.
boots.
Oh, that's creepy.
Yeah, I love the infected POV shots. That's such a great idea.
So my question is though, we established in the first one from memory that they can starve. What are they
That was
eating?
so now. Okay, so the idea is the infected have evolved, and like they are actually eating animals, people in some cases. They're definitely closer to zombies in this movie than they were in
Yeah.
28 Days Later. And the way the original movie ends, it's like, yeah, they're starving, they're dying out. This isn't going to last very long. So just by the very nature of this movie existing, you have to come up with something.
Yeah.
Since we're literally 28 years later, so it's like, yeah, they're evolving.
I do
And
really want to know what the original idea was, because I feel like Danny Boyle had a 28 weeks later in mind.
yeah, and that was just, I feel, so indicative of that time where, oh, this movie was a big hit. Let's make another one. Are we gonna get back the original filmmakers? Nope. I feel like you saw that a lot with
Yeah.
horror in the mid 2000s, like the Saw franchise being a big exception.
Well, what's even weirder with that is, if my timeline is right, it took him like 5 years to get that thing out.
Yeah.
So it wasn't like, well, we have to turn around and just pump one out.
Yeah, and since we were clear at the start, the original movie directed by Danny Boyle, written by Alex Garland, and like this is the return of that duo. And
Yeah.
I think Alex Garland may have done some like rewrites or touch-ups on 28 Weeks Later, but otherwise like that's written by different people and it has a different director, and I'm not sure why that film turned out the way it did at the time.
Because nobody had a take.
Yeah.
And we should mention Alex Garland, to my understanding, is writing all three of these. The only thing that's changed with the Bone Temple is the director. And, good for Nia DaCosta, because I really liked her work on that Candyman reboot, even though I found that movie to be utterly atrocious. It was well directed. And then I thought she did the best she could with the Marvels. I didn't hate that movie like everyone else did.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, no, with the Bone Temple, I think she got a real win.
He is credited, well, uncredited as writer, and was an executive producer on Weeks. So probably was like, don't do this, and they went, we're gonna do this.
Yeah. Yeah, because given that there is a 28-year time skip, you can still make most of the plot of that movie work. Headcanon.
It's just the ending that doesn't make sense.
It's the ending in Paris that you have to ignore completely.
Yeah.
Like, never mind. And my understanding is that's a reshoot that comes way late, and you could tell. It's just like it is one shot of the Eiffel Tower in the background and like a dozen extras, and that is it. So that was added way late. And again, correct me if I'm wrong, but I think I heard that the opening scene of that film was something that Alex Garland wrote, or what's the
that would explain it.
It's the best part of that movie.
Yeah.
But I don't know.
Yeah, I just choose to pretend they went, yeah, that movie sucked. No.
Yeah, just...
See, that looks so good.
Yeah. Giving me those Last of Us vibes that I love. I love all the nature photography. Yeah. And again, without giving too much away, what I like about the next one is, like I said, with this film, you have a community that has a structure and a system to it. They figured, and like the water they talk about, like being on an island is what keeps them safe. And then they just have to monitor the one bridge. Then you get to the next film, and it's just all these motherfucking people are crazy. Like that is the next movie. Is everyone not on the island is fucking insane.
Tyler asks, what do we think of Garland's other work? So, I think Dredd is brilliant, and I really liked Civil War. I didn't like Warfare. I'm not gonna say it was bad. That just wasn't for me. I can't speak to anything else on here. I don't think I've seen.
Yeah, I've not seen Ex Machina or Annihilation yet. Men, I've heard is terrible.
I heard Men was bad, so I was just like, I'm good. I'll pass.
Yeah, at the very least, that's his most polarizing work, and then Civil War and Warfare, and after Warfare, I think he said, "Yeah, I might be done directing."
No.
uh,
So he, get ready for this, is writing and directing the Elden Ring movie.
oh, okay, yeah, I forgot about that.
Because apparently he's like a huge Elden Ring fan, which is awesome. I don't know how you turn that into a movie.
But yeah, and Dread, I believe he also did some uncredited directing on,
Yes.
because that movie had a messy production.
Yeah, but no, I think that's a brilliant movie and the best RoboCop movie we'll ever get in the modern age.
Yeah, kidding. And this scene gives you a taste of like, oh yeah, there's some fucked up shit
Yeah.
happening out here. You got, and we mentioned earlier, the bookends of the film you could have saved for the next one. To its credit, this scene is tied into the bookends if you're paying attention, because the kid in the opening scene is named Jimmy, who we'll see as an adult at the end, and you got this guy, this corpse with Jimmy carved into his body. So if you're
Oh,
paying attention, yeah. So
I
this is
I never noticed that. Oh, yep, I see it. No, that's cool.
just nice little bit
Yeah,
of world building.
like I said, I don't mind them being there. I think by the time you get to that last shot, the actual movie has already ended, but it just keeps going.
Yes. Yeah, that's how I felt. And I like that even Aaron Taylor Johnson's character is like, yeah, this is fucked up. But this is a good little moment of like, all right, you got to kill this guy. Good moment to step up your spike.
Yep. Kill it.
Like, Spike, hurry up. Finish it. Whoa. That was a point of contention for some people. Some people didn't like the bullet time shots. I think they're cool. I don't.
I I think people wanted 28 Days Later again. This is not that for this type of film. I think that works. What's weird is there sometimes where it feels like we've forgotten the rules of infection. Like they're going around getting up close with bows. All it takes is a drop to
Yeah.
infect you.
Well, okay. So if it gets on your skin, you're fine. But if it goes in your mouth or your eyes,
But
like
that's what I'm
that's
saying. Like they're not wearing any kind of protection.
yeah. No, I don't disagree, but I think that's also a problem that goes all the way back to the first movie because I think
Yeah.
we talked about that in our commentary. Like, it's not consistent when people get infected and when they don't. Yeah.
Tyler, do you think the popularity of The Walking Dead shows the reason this took so long to get made? No. I think it's because Weeks bombed, and um, I don't know if this is real, but there was speculation that they were coming back to do 28 months later at one point, but that got stuck in like development hell, and all of this is before The Walking Dead even show happened.
And also, Danny Boyle, Alex Garland, like we talked about earlier, they didn't stop making movies. Like, they were also just busy.
Yeah,
Uh, it's like when this didn't materialize, you just move on to another project.
and
That's
I
how
don't know what
it
Danny
goes.
Boyle did, but yeah, like Alex Garland has been putting out a bunch of big movies. Danny Boyle is a director I need to see more of, but for me, he did kind of disappear after 28 Days. But I just probably just like not in the zeitgeist of whatever he was doing.
Yeah, they made Sunshine, which is a big one I still need to watch.
I've heard of it.
Uh, I know that also has Cillian Murphy in it. Slumdog Millionaire is one of Danny Boyle's big ones.
Oh yeah, yeah, yeah.
And there's Alpha.
Your boy. No, I do think it is natural when by the time you get to a second or a third, however you want to view this movie, it's still scary, but it's not as scary because the characters have settled into the status quo,
Mhm.
which is why I think a lot of horror movies by the second one lean more into an action because how long can the protagonist be a victim of their status quo or of the monster?
Right. Yeah, and by the very nature of monster movies, it's never going to be as scary
To
to an
because
audience the
to
second
tie
time.
it back to something else we've been covering a lot on the channel, Resident Evil, they talk a lot about they wanted to put Leon in another game, but the game can't be scary when you're playing as Leon because at this point Leon is experienced. So 9 is going to be have that new character to do the more horror stuff. And then Leon is going to be the actiony like RE4. They put out gameplay for Leon and it looks fucking nuts.
That's really cool.
One thing that I think
So
this movie struggles with is introducing some of these new concepts. Like we're told this is an alpha. Is it the only alpha? How did this evolve? How did this evolution happen?
yeah, there's definitely multiple alphas. I could say that.
Okay.
Um, and now one area where this movie does approach the subject realistically is most of the infected you see are naked, and
Yep.
this movie would have gotten an easy X rating or NC-17 back in the day.
No, I maybe this is just me being a killjoy. I appreciate the realism. It also showed a lot of people's immaturity because they couldn't stop
Yeah,
talking about it.
that can't happen. Yeah,
Dead
I
by
find
Daylight had that problem. I don't know if you know this. When they released that Hellraiser DLC, they had to remove the "You opened the box, we came" voice line because the average
oh
Dead Dead by Daylight player is dumb and was just like
yeah
spammed it, so he would just keep saying "we came."
yeah people are dumb.
Yep. And that's not me saying you can't have a sense of humor, but like, come on.
Yeah, but I think to this movie's credit, there are some really intense sequences like that. This where you're like, "Oh fuck, is the dad gonna die?" Like,
Yeah.
when you have fast running infected like this, things get intense very quickly. And to what you were saying about how like the more your protagonist is efficient and used to the terror, the less scary the terror is. That it's very apparent in Resident Evil 7 how that pivoted to being more of just a survival horror game and taking out the action. And part of how they went about that was that that's a new protagonist, right?
Yeah. You excited to finally get to that one?
Yeah. I mean, it's definitely one of the games I'm more familiar with just from so many Let's Play videos and things I watched
We
back in the day.
not to talk shop, but if Hadan doesn't get 6, we might skip to 7 and come back to 6. I don't want to play that by myself.
Gotcha. That's right. And this Sunday we'll be finishing up that DLC for
Yeah.
5, right?
Yeah.
Nice.
not because that DLC was cool. Like I love that it's the closest we'll get to a HD remake of one. But we might start 7 Sunday because that DLC probably won't take long. Alphas aren't like the others.
Yeah, I love that shot. Just the tree and him just standing there.
Well, and to your Last of Us comparisons, the alphas remind me a lot of the bloaters.
Yep.
Well, and we know Garland is a gamer because he's played Elden Ring like 7 times to prepare for that movie. Part of me likes to imagine that he's just played The Last of Us a lot.
Yeah, and the one thing though to just differentiate them is we haven't really explored smarter infected
Yeah.
in The Last of Us. With Alpha, in this case, alphas, we're told like, no, they're smarter. Like this alpha, he has a patience to him that most infected don't have. Most infected are just rabid, wild animals. But the alphas,
No,
like,
if they introduced smart infected in the 3rd game, I'm out.
yeah, because there's not like with the main infected and then the bloaters, there's not really a different intelligence level. They can just do different shit.
I think the closest you get is the what is it, the stalkers.
Mm-hmm.
This kid is really good. I don't know who he is, but
he's incredible. Like, oh my god, this actor, Alfie Williams.
That name sounds familiar.
I believe this was his first movie.
Damn.
Yeah, he's incredible in this.
He's in an episode of His Dark Materials, which I really want to watch that show at some point.
Oh, nice. Yeah, I've never seen it.
I loved the books, and the only thing I know about that show is that is the other big thing with X-23, whatever her name is.
Debnicki.
Yes. I think James McAvoy's in that too.
I think so. I also have never seen the Golden Compass film, but I've heard it's terrible.
I have not. So I've only read the books, but it has been a long time. Those books are really fucking good, though.
Yeah, the main thing I know about that show was the mission statement was, okay, ignore the movie. This is going to be more faithful.
Well, that's what I kind of like about this age that we're in, is a lot of the times the mission statement is, if we're doing something again, let's go back to the source.
Mm-hmm.
I love these red shots.
Yeah.
It's a stampede! Sorry, what were you saying? And we're also what?
Well, we're also giving bigger budgets to TV shows than we used to.
That's one thing I am a little worried. So, I know nobody but me cares about this, but Percy Jackson season 2 just wrapped, and I've heard some things about the finale that make me go, ugh, I don't know about that.
Well, apparently they shot season 3 a lot faster than 2, because I think season 3 is supposed to come out this year.
It is.
Which surprised me.
No, because what's crazy, we already have footage for 3.
Yeah, so they got on that quick.
Yeah, because it took them so long to do 2 that the actors look too old now. But no, there's certain stuff with one of the characters that is introduced in the end of book 2. They changed, and I'm like, I don't know about that one, Chief. We'll talk more about it during like the gaming stream.
Yeah.
Real quick announcement for anybody that doesn't know. We'll be playing Predator Hunting Grounds after this if you're watching live. And I have a poll up for the next game that I'm going to be playing on Thursdays. It'll be me and Hadan because Robert is taking an undisclosed amount of time off of Thursdays. And I say undisclosed because he didn't tell me, but it's fine.
Yep.
It's like, I'm so sick of that fucking Days Gone.
A lot out of me.
They needed motorcycles in this game. That's what they're in this movie. That's what they needed.
Yeah.
Oh my god, Robert, I can see what's happening during a night scene.
Yeah.
Mostly.
Mostly, yeah. Well, and I don't know if video gaming is the right term, but like I do like the structure of this movie a lot, where you have like the first mission out, and then he comes back, and then he's learned some stuff, he's more prepared, and then we'll go out again with his mother. Again, just not what I expected
Yeah.
going into this. Like, I did not expect us to get back to their community so quickly, but I think it really works. And that's part of what drives Spike, is he feels insecure. Like, oh, like that's one scene that getting ahead of it, but he's like, oh, my dad's like telling people all this stuff that I didn't do. Like, he doesn't feel like he's earned anything.
Yeah.
And that is part of what'll drive him to go back out.
Tyler and Visipeg, do you guys think you'll do JP3 anytime soon? I don't know.
Oh, that's one that's just always on the back burner, but I'd love to get to it at some point.
I've been wanting to watch that movie forever, and then I just forget about it.
And yeah, there are definitely multiple alphas, because the one here we do see get killed. And then
okay. I didn't realize it was an alpha.
Yeah, there's an alpha chasing them right now.
That's hilarious.
I'll open the freaking gate, you bastards.
Do you think you had to be of like a certain height to be to genetically modify into an alpha?
Yes.
Oh, Tyler watched our Lost World commentary earlier today. Cool.
Oh, cool.
That was completely self-indulgent, but it was a lot of fun.
Keep shooting him.
Shotar!
We talked about the poem earlier, but I love the whole soundtrack of this movie.
Yeah. No, it's a good one.
Yeah, I'm not really familiar with the band Young Fathers, but all of their songs in this I think are fantastic.
Yeah, I never heard of them. I do kind of like when we get like a band to do a score. I think it gives it a different flavor. Because like composers are cool, but sometimes like I wish it was more of a band, less orchestral music.
Hmm.
I think that's the only time I've seen him use like his, I guess normal accent, because he's British, isn't he?
Yes.
Because even in
Well, I
like
guess in those
Nosferatu, he's doing a British accent, but it's slightly different.
Yeah, you're right. It's more of a classical, you know,
Yeah.
era appropriate.
This is a I'll kick your ass, you bastard fucking accent.
And like so, this really plays into Spike's insecurity that his dad's like really hyping him up here at this party, and he's like, "Oh no, that didn't happen though."
Yeah, and I mean, in his defense, I'd also be uncomfortable if I had everybody in the fucking room crowding me.
Yeah, yeah, and
Oh,
oh god, ew.
yeah, that's a shot I didn't need.
But this is a big like loss of innocence moment for Spike when he sees when he catches his dad fooling around with another girl.
Yeah,
Which in I don't know. I like the nuance of this movie. Like his dad, I don't think is like a terrible person. Like he's obviously he's in a really unfortunate situation with his wife who is very ill. And yeah, okay, I'm not condoning his actions here. It's just like yeah, he's just a flawed
he's
guy.
flawed.
Yeah,
More so, my point was just I resist the idea that he's a bad dad.
yeah. As far as Spike is concerned, he thinks he's doing what's best for him and is trying his best. You could call him a shitty husband. I think that's fair
Yeah, he is
at
a
this
shitty
point.
husband, but also at the same time, like I'm not gonna stand on a like a soapbox. I don't know that I'd do anything different. You know, it's a stressful
Yeah,
situation.
yeah. He almost died. Like he almost got ripped apart by zombies
He's
20 minutes
drunk,
ago.
and you know,
He's
keep in
drunk.
mind he's
Yeah,
drunk.
yeah. But from Spike's POV, like we were talking about, this is a coming of age story. He's now had he is forever changed after this night with the infected and seeing these other sides of his dad that he hasn't seen before. And it's a lot to process when you're 12 years old.
They should remake Turbo, but get this kid to be Justin.
You could go anywhere but up.
Yeah. Wait. Wouldn't it be anywhere but down?
Opposite. Strike anywhere but down. Strike that, reverse it. There you go. And this is the first time where we set up Ray Fiennes' character, and I love the build up to him. How
Yeah.
all the people on the island are like, yeah, he's a fucking nut. Like, stay away from that guy.
Well, and what I like about our protagonist being 12 is it's kind of that Ellie thing where you get to see the perspective of a kid that didn't grow up in the old world. Like, this is the only world he's
Yeah.
known.
Mhm. And we're also seeing the disadvantages of being in an island enclosed community like this is if you don't have like a real professional doctor there, you're kind of fucked. Like you're just at the mercy of whatever basic knowledge and supplies you have on hand.
Do they because I googled it to find out, but do they never explicitly say what's wrong with the mom?
Yeah. He does.
Okay.
Like he does like diagnose her. It is cancer or
Yeah,
something.
because that was my thing in this situation. Is the dad's right? Like, you can't cure what's wrong with her.
Hmm. Yeah, because in a more typical version of this story, it's this mysterious doctor character is he'd either be full of shit or evil, like a monster, like, but what you get instead is no, he's actually really chill and smart, but he has to give Spike the hard news of, yeah, there's nothing I can do.
Yeah.
Like, your mom is going to die. And nothing can fix. So like that just awakening at that age, it's just a big thing he has to come to terms with.
Yeah.
That like, yeah, you can't fix this. Take your shoes off.
My dad used to sleep like that. I never understood it because my dad wore like full on boots, and he would just go to sleep in them.
Boots.
Boots. I could barely stand to sleep in my socks, let alone shoes. I saw a video today, reminding me because he's making eggs. This woman that's apparently never made eggs before in her life. She must have just put them in the pan and smashed it down. So she's cooking like the eggs and the shells.
Some people eat eggshells. I don't get it.
Uh, God.
And like, so I love the mystery we're building up with the Ray Fiennes character, where from Aaron Taylor Johnson's perspective, he's like, no, this guy was like nuts and like melting bodies and making a temple out of boats. It's like, yeah, we stayed away from that guy. He's crazy.
Yeah. And I
But
love
I think
Ralph
most people would.
Fiennes. I was really
He's
happy
so
when he
good.
was cast in this.
He's been in a lot of interesting stuff
Yeah.
lately.
It blew my mind when he showed up in the Craig movies as the new M.
Yeah, and it's so weird because you don't trust him. You're like, no, he's gonna be a bad guy. Don't hire that guy. That's Voldemort. Yeah, I love this shot when he just waves. He's like, hey, good morning.
I think you could make an argument like this is kind of where his parenting breaks down. Is he doesn't know how to have the hard conversation with his kid,
That his mom's gonna die.
and just me personally, there's never an excuse to lay your hands on your child like that.
Yeah, that's the you fucked up, Aaron.
Aaron.
Oh god.
Don't do that.
One thing I talked about a lot in our 28 Days Later commentary was how that film explores rage as like a
Yes.
force of nature, and I like how he continue to explore that here, where his father isn't literally infected, but we're doing some very direct parallels with him and the infected, like when he punches the wall and like when his hands shaking.
They remember that these movies are about rage. Unlike in 28 Weeks Later, where the dad gets infected by kissing the immune mom and then turns into
Yeah,
a sadist for some reason.
it was maybe the first alpha. I don't know, because I don't know why he like recognizes his kids and is after them specifically. It's very confusing,
Yeah.
and I don't understand it.
That would be awesome if he was the first.
I could live with that retcon.
My buddy Jake has just gotten out of the new Silent Hill movie and said that they almost got it right.
Oh,
Apparently, the casting is good,
yeah.
the atmosphere is good, but they make some really bad story changes. We'll see.
That's unfortunate. That's we should do something on that on those movies
We
at
should
some
do a
point
double
this
feature
year.
at some point. If I'd thought about it, we could have done that this Friday, but I forgot.
Yeah, it's fine. It's fine. Yeah, but that's all. That's also another case of a director coming back like what 20 years later,
Yeah.
and unfortunately the reviews have not been great.
Well, my thing has always
uh,
been. We talked about this, I think, at the our end of year stream. Um, I think you should have gotten all new creative blood for that because that's not like a sequel to that first movie. It's just we got the same guy. Tyler says didn't Silent Hill get like a 6%? Yeah, but I mean I don't know. For me that doesn't mean anything. Jason X has a 20%. That's the second greatest film of all time.
that's honestly higher than I would have expected.
I think it's went up because I remember it being lower.
Yeah, that can happen.
Yeah.
Sometimes
No,
you'll see reviews get logged many years after the fact.
Return of the Living Dead Part 2 for years had a 0%, which baffled me.
Mhm. And like you were talking about earlier with the naivety, the naivete of this kid. He just says his mom like, no, we're gonna find the doctor and he's gonna fix you
Yeah.
because that's what doctors do. What he's not prepared for is is him just saying, oh no, like you're dying. Like, yeah, I know what's wrong with you, and that's it. Like,
It's now Return of the Living Dead 2 is now gone up to a whopping 10%, which I still don't understand. Uh, Tyler wants to know if we saw that Wonder Man got great reviews. No, because I'm not watching that.
yeah, I just don't care.
Haven't most of those Marvel movies gotten good reviews, or shows gotten good reviews because they only have access to like the first 3 episodes?
Most of them are like mixed to positive. This is, I will say, seems to have better reviews than a lot of the other ones, but I just don't care.
Yeah.
I think I can speak for you that if we're invited on like Geekvolution, do like a blind watch. That's like that,
Yeah.
That's what I watch. It is if we do like blind watch commentary.
I'm so sick of Marvel like trying to fix Iron Man 3.
Yeah, and here's what makes me skeptical of it. Since we're on this, some of like the critic blurbs I'm seeing of the Wonder Man show is that it quote unquote fixes superhero fatigue. And just speaking for myself, that's not what I need out of it. I just want good superhero stuff.
That doesn't mean anything in the year when Superman, like, everybody loved Superman. Well,
I thought Superman was great.
Most people loved Superman.
But yeah, I'm not, like, sick of superhero movies. I just want good ones.
Yeah.
No, and but moments of levity like this are just so genuine. You really buy the relationship with these two. And it's such an interesting dynamic too, where her character was probably around his age, if not younger, like when the apocalypse happened.
Yeah. Well, and that because I mean, part of it is just I think she looks young, but she looks really young to have a 12-year-old kid.
Mm-hmm.
Well, because she's only 32, and dear God, I'm older than her. Well, what's really funny too is so she's 32. Well, I guess Aaron Taylor Johnson's only 35. His wife is like 60, but you know. Do you know about that?
Yeah, I do. It's none of my business.
None of my business either, but
well, and just in the context of this film, if he's supposed to be like 5 years older than her or whatever, it's like, I mean, that tracks when you're living on an island with like 50 people. You don't have a lot of options.
No, I have questions about other children in this movie, but we'll get there. You know what I'm talking about.
Yeah. This scene's creepy.
Isn't this the one from the opening too?
I believe so. Yeah, just still crawling. Yeah, because this one likes bugs. Yeah, we saw this one eating some worms earlier. Wake up, Spike. I love this editing choice here because I don't think she's lying to him. I think she legitimately just doesn't remember killing this infected to save him.
Yeah.
Because it's like we're cutting back to seeing what happened. She killed him, and now and then we're back to the following morning where she's like she doesn't remember doing that.
Well, and that's consistent with I don't know real life, but like especially movie portrayals of brain cancer,
Mhm.
where it changes your
Your
entire
memories.
personality, your memory. Like, have you seen The Green Mile?
I have seen the Green Mile.
That movie has a great take on that.
Meanwhile, in another movie,
Yeah, I don't know how this is any different than the Power Rangers ending.
I think the scene's awesome.
No, it's great.
Well, and where it, this is relevant because one person is going to survive here who's going to, come across our protagonists later. But again, just some nice extra world building of like this recon mission, just seeing what the rest of the world is doing.
Yeah.
And then, whoops.
Shoot him. I
Do
like
you
that we
remember it?
keep when you're first infected the blood vomit.
Yeah, it's so gross.
It is somehow less gross than real vomit though. Well, real vomit.
Yeah, yeah. Trick or Treat has a really gross vomit scene, but it's so over the top. It is kind of funny.
I don't remember that. I've only seen that once.
Oh, okay. Yeah, it's when the kid gets poisoned. His
Okay.
candy's poison. Hope there's nothing bad down here.
They just run into Tom Hardy's Bane.
Hello.
I'm an alpha. I want to know what it is with the alphas and the
That's so great.
spine thing.
It's because it's cool.
Since the second time he's done that in this movie.
It's that's why we're playing some Predator Hunting Grounds after this.
Yeah, it's all
It's for the
connected.
spine ripping. Yeah, we totally did that on purpose.
It's all part of the plan. Okay, so
This is a gross nature documentary.
there being a heavily pregnant infected implies one of two things. Either the
Yes,
infected are now banging, which
which
would
is
be
great.
hilarious because that's full on Peter Jackson dead alive. Uh or she's been turned within the last 8 or 9 months. But then
I have no idea.
she's gonna give birth to a normal child, which I wouldn't think that's how that would work.
My understanding is medically that actually makes sense that the
Okay.
baby would be born not infected.
I when I
Um,
first watched this, I was having some strong Dawn of the Dead remake flashbacks. I was like, "Are we gonna see a rage infected baby? Because that would be hilarious." This won't mean anything to you until we get further into Buffy, but Jodie Comer would make a great. Fuck. How am I blanking on this? It's not Darla, it's the other one.
Big fan. Oh my god, and there's the zombie everybody thought was Cillian Murphy.
Yeah, I remember that.
And like I see the resemblance, but when that was in one of the first trailers, people were like, "Oh man, that's Cillian Murphy. He's a zombie." I'm like, I don't think they would have given that away in the trailer.
Yeah. Darla,
That's who that was.
Darla, and I had it just a second ago. God damn it!
Oh god. That's that's such an obvious joke, but I love it. There was the Shell gas station, but the S fell off, so it says hell.
Yeah,
I like it.
Drusilla, that's it. So we've got a chat name in the chat I don't recognize. Gamer girl and why the powers, the wonders of the placenta. They said I like the
Right.
first act, but the second and third act seems like side quest. Uh,
Yeah,
I don't agree with that
agree with that.
personally because that's where the main plot is. But I mean, that's fair.
Well, and maybe it's just the marketing, but I think we talked about this earlier. A lot of us just thought that the first act was what the movie was gonna be. Like, oh, it's Aaron Taylor Johnson, and it's this father son story, and that's not like what the rest of the movie is. So if that threw you off, I think that's fair.
Yeah,
Um, but I think the heart of the story with this kid and his mom, like that all really landed for me.
yeah. I think that's what makes this my favorite of the three that I've seen.
And I think there's enough zombie action and
Yeah,
scary sequences because I think some people, I don't know, I found I don't know, there were a lot of different reactions to this movie, and I think some people
this
were expecting more of a horror movie, but
I think they are
I don't think it
expecting
completely
the.
abandons that.
I think they were expecting the raw intensity of that first movie because you hadn't seen anything like it at the time. Not realizing you can't recreate that. That was lightning in a bottle.
Mhm. Yeah, and I would argue that's what 28 Weeks Later was going for. It just doesn't really succeed.
I don't know what 28 Weeks Later was going for, but it accomplished none of it.
No, this guy has strong NPC energy.
Yeah.
Like, hi, I'm here to interact with you now, just for some variety.
No, and he makes a comment later that's really out of pocket.
That's an interesting line. Like, he's like, "You're a native."
Yeah.
The way he says that has like this implication of like, no, you're lesser than me. You're like these weird primitive. Well, I'm a normal person. I have cell phones and shit. Like, I'm from the real world.
I would love to see what the rest of the world looks like with just no England.
That's funny. In his defense, like this lady just called this kid her dad.
Yeah.
He's like, yeah, you people are weird. I don't know what's happening.
Well, no, that's where that out of line pocket
Yeah.
will come from later. Where I'm like, what the fuck?
This also sets up a good joke later when she starts walking and he's like, wait, she can walk? Why was I carrying her?
Yeah, you probably should have. Then you wouldn't die here in a few minutes.
Well, and I think there's some very deliberate commentary on it. It's very much just talking about young people that enlist in any war throughout history, just especially recent history, just to rebel or prove themselves, and then
Yeah.
in many cases regret it. We've seen that happen a lot. Yeah, and that is a nice touch of a nice dash of world building, where he's like, no, like if you are here, you are not allowed back. Like me, I'm fucked. Like I'm not. I can never go home again,
Yeah.
and I have to deal with that. I don't remember what he said. Like if his boat sank or something, and that's how him and
That
the
sounds
guys
right.
in the
Yeah.
were. We were just talking over it. Yeah, this was interesting that the rest of the world has cell phones and shit.
Yeah, maybe you're right. Power Rangers just kept going
Exactly.
because they filmed that shit in New Zealand.
Yeah. I want to know how many poor bastards of this universe, how many aspiring vloggers were like, you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to go to the quarantine.
There's a really cool
Go
book
viral.
there's a really cool book trilogy called the Newsflesh trilogy that is basically society has reformed after the zombie apocalypse, but all of the news and media is bloggers and stuff like that. Uh, it's just got a really cool take on the apocalypse. Like the zombies don't go away. We just built society around them. And it's the first book is this vlogger and her brother, well, adopted brother, uh, following a presidential election and like all of the politics are how are we going to deal with the zombies and security and
Does the how does the World War Z book approach that stuff? Because that's after the zombie apocalypse, right? Like,
so it's been a
what's the
long time since I've
framework
read it,
of that?
but it is, but it's all recollections of the war. It doesn't really deal with the world after. It's what people went through during.
Gotcha.
Because I think the idea, the way they pitched that movie was going to be that guy writing the book, and then it wasn't that.
Yeah. I mean, I remember that movie being fun for what
I
it is, but
hate
like
that
that was
movie.
the entire conversation around it.
Yeah, I hate
I
that
can't
movie.
speak strongly on it. I haven't seen it in 10 years.
They lost me
A
at the
sequel to
like piles of CGI zombies running up walls.
that. Well, and a sequel to that's been in development hell for years and years, and it's like just do the book, like just forget the movie, like
Make it a miniseries.
a miniseries. Seem from what I've heard about it, sounds more appropriate.
Yeah. And that's written by Mel Brooks' son.
No, the more you know.
Okay, so he's clearly not American.
Yeah.
Why is he making American references?
Eh.
What are you doing?
Oh my god, it's a train.
Oh,
That's a classic horror movie shot. When you see a bunch of rats running away from something, you know it's not good.
it's not. It's not. I
Yeah, this was one of the big scenes that's like, wow, this is a big swing.
yeah, I'm still like I don't know if this makes sense, but you know. Tyler, do you think the third 28 years movie the franchise will end? I kind of want it to. I'd have to see that movie
Yeah, I
though.
mean,
I don't know.
yeah, it'll definitely be the last one, I think, for Danny Boyle and for Alex Garland. I don't think they'll have anything more to say out of that.
And if history's shown anything, without them, this franchise doesn't make any sense.
Yeah. Now, I do wonder if this infected lady is like the mate to an alpha, which could imply that the alpha knocked her up.
Yeah, but then he murders her.
Yeah, he's still crazy.
Yeah, like okay, right here, she should be infected, right?
Again, it's hard to say. But like I said, the baby being born normal, not infected, I think does make sense, medically
Okay.
speaking.
I
I'm not an expert.
I'm not an expert. I don't have a strong basis to argue either way.
Oh god. But to your point, there are shots like that where, you know, blood's spraying everywhere and everybody's fine.
Yeah.
Like, we're not consistent about that.
We are in aliens territory where in aliens we forgot about the acid blood.
Yeah, except when we don't.
Yes. This is a shot where I could see coming from a mile away. You don't have him backing up towards the hole in the roof.
Oh god.
This might be my favorite chase sequence in the movie, though, coming up. I think it makes the Alpha look terrifying.
Hell yeah, I love this guy. It's so metal, just the head with the spine. It's so good.
And just the close ups, I think, are really effective.
Mhm.
and that musical sequence right here. It's not something I could listen to outside of this, but it really intensifies this scene. But imagine if Boots was playing right here.
No, that's fair. Get off my train.
This is where I can tell it's shot with an iPhone, though, because it looks like the at points they're holding selfie sticks.
Oh my god, it's an orange man.
This is a direct reference to. Never mind.
Don't steal this man's head.
That accent he's doing really reminds me of the hunter from Lost World. Like if this movie was made before that, I could see that guy doing this role.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely.
No shit, dumbass. And this is a baby. What I'm curious about is what they call the third one.
Yeah. Well, and we'll see what I think of that whenever it does come out. But what I can say is, at least having seen for me now, having seen this film and the next one, it really does feel like just one long movie that's just being told in multiple parts.
Yeah.
Which I like. Because I know we fucked up the title scheme.
We did. It pisses me off.
But yeah, the way I describe it, it's like the trilogy is 28 years later, and the Bone Temple is just a chapter.
Yeah.
And you know, it's a movie that's in theaters, so you gotta call it something different.
No. It was released 28 years later, 3 times.
But it's fine because we're at the titular Bone Temple.
So I don't care about the Oscars, but I did want to just mention Sinners like swept the categories for nominations. Good for that.
Yeah, good for that. I'm sure this was probably snubbed. I don't know if this was nominated for anything.
There's no way. I just like imagining whoever is in charge of that watching that birth scene being like, they want us to nominate this? What? No, what pisses me off is apparently the Life of Chuck didn't get shit.
Oh, I expected that to get snubbed because nobody saw it. And this is why I don't care about the Oscars.
Yeah, the Oscars are a bunch of bullshit, but you know, good for Sinners for those who care.
Good for Sinners, yeah. So, you broke my temple.
What is this? Dead by Daylight?
It would be amazing if in the next movie we saw Samson grab somebody and take them to a chain, hook them on a chain, then big demon pull, and you're like, what the hell?
That's what that'll be the twist at the end of the third movie. Is this all been in the prequel to Dead by Daylight? That poor soldier.
I know. It's...
You'll never get to go home, and your skull will be forever in this temple.
Your ex-girlfriend cannot possibly guess what has become of you. I can't stress this enough. No, I love everything about this character. Just his whole system, his worldview. He's just really chill and likable.
Yeah.
It's a really funny juxtaposition.
Ugh.
Ew.
Yes, Tyler. Robert and I are just gonna play some hunting grounds for a little bit. Just the two of us.
Just the two of us.
Don't make it weird. Stop touching it. I mean, dear God.
You know in like old cartoons, like old Scooby-Doo cartoons, when you'd have like the flat background and you can tell when something's gonna be animated because like it's off color, so you can tell how they're gonna pick up that book or whatever. That's what that skull looks like compared to the rest of the skulls, because it's all shiny and bright.
I love how everyone just states the obvious with that baby. The kid's like, it's a baby. And then he's like, the baby is a newborn. Correct.
I'm not here about the baby.
I want to see the baby.
Yeah, I find the reaction to these movies interesting. Because this one, you know, it got good reviews. It made money. Like, general audiences mostly liked it. But in the horror community, I feel like a lot of people were disappointed in this, or at the very least polarizing. Um, and then this new one, The Bone Temple, unfortunately not doing well at the box office, still getting good reviews, but it feels like, and you haven't seen it yet, but it does feel like within the horror community and the fans of this franchise, people seem to be liking Bone Temple more. And I don't know where you land on it because I personally prefer this movie over Bone Temple, but I like both. Um,
Yeah, I'll be fascinated to see. We'll do a triple feature when
yeah.
the third
I
one's
just
out.
yeah, I don't know what your experience with it, but I feel like in the years since this movie's come out, it's weirdly divisive. Like I see a lot of mixed things about this movie in the horror community specifically, but I don't know if you've seen any of that. it seems like more of a polarizing movie than I would have expected.
Yeah, I've definitely heard some mixed reception.
But they obviously had like a different expectation to it than something like Sinners had. There are a lot of movies came out last year that didn't have like that baggage, that franchise baggage. The subject matter here is so heavy. With the mom saying like, "Yeah, I knew it's probably cancer, and I didn't want to tell you, and I couldn't even depend on others to tell you." It's like this kid's whole world just comes crashing down in this scene. It's like all of the adults in his community failed him.
Yeah. And I will say, not to get too personal, I guess, I relate to this kid's experiences with a parent that has had cancer, which is the main thing I latch onto in this movie. And what I like about this movie over even Days is a cool like survival story. This is a human drama with just
Yeah.
zombies, uh, in the background, and those are the best of these type of movies. That's what Romero got, and you know,
Yeah, and I think that's funny because some of the reaction to this movie that I saw was it felt like people saying like, "Oh, well, I don't want a human drama. I just want zombie action." Like, I don't know.
unfortunately, people online tend to be really shallow in their movie.
Yeah. No, this whole sequence is just acted so well, and I find completely heartbreaking. This was one of the first of many horror movies last year that were really emotional, and I didn't expect that going into 2025. There were a lot of sad horror movies that came out last year. This is one of them.
Yeah, hell, I mean, I'd argue even Sinners. Like when you get to that final scene, that is a gut punch.
Yeah. Hmm. Yeah, and the music in this whole sequence is just fantastic. Just look at the baby, Spike.
This is a scene where it's hard to see some things that I don't mind because I like the way it's lit with the fire.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
We're not 600 is not a huge milestone. I don't know if we're gonna do anything for just 600.
Yeah. I mean, you never know.
Yeah. Robert will rank all 700 seasons of Dark Shadows.
Yes. That's so random.
No. No, my friend is really big into that show, and she's been telling me about it lately. So it's just on the brain. I've never seen it, but and you'll do the movie in there too, the Tim Burton.
Of course. Well, and the creator of Dark Shadows, I think, is Dan Curtis, who does a Dracula, who also does a Dracula movie and a Frankenstein movie. And I
Oh,
still need to see those. Because as we've discussed previously on this channel, we're a little burnt out on those right now. Um, okay, I don't call this a prediction if you want, because it'll probably be wrong. You know what I think? You know what I'd call the third 28 Years Later movie?
what's that?
My subtitle pitch, 28 Years Later, Memento Mori.
Hell yeah!
I don't think they'll call it that, but I'm just throwing that out in the universe right now.
I love the.
Memento Mori. Know that you must die. And the photography in this sequence is just gorgeous.
Yes. Oh, he also did a the Turn of the Screw movie.
Oh, is
Or
that the Innocents, or is it a different one?
it's based on The Turn of the Screw by Henry James. Just called The Turn of the Screw, 1974.
Okay.
I guess
Okay,
it's a
so I have not seen
two
that
episode
version.
miniseries.
Interesting. Which I know is one of the stories that's the basis of Haunting of Bly Manor,
Which I still
which I
haven't
still need to
seen.
watch.
I've started it like twice and I just never finish it.
Man, remember when we did the Haunting and we are like, oh yeah, we're gonna do all the Flanagan stuff, and then just
Yep.
never got around to it.
Yep.
Yeah, we did Midnight Mass. We did that one.
I mean, to be fair, we did 2 out of 3 of his Netflix shows, not counting.
Yeah.
I never count that Babysitters whatever that he did that lasted 1 season.
Sure.
No, I would like to go back
Oh,
and do
wait,
House of
wait.
Usher.
Yeah.
Okay, so we did 2 out of 4. That's
Yeah,
embarrassing.
I was about to say.
That's a fail.
You should make a YouTube short out of that. No, I don't know if you remember it. One of the the first poster of this movie is just this
Yeah.
structure of skulls, and it's so ominous and creepy, and then the actual context is so different from what you're expecting.
Midnight Club, that's what it's
Um,
called, not Babysitters.
Midnight Club.
Yeah. I never finished that
That's a
show.
different Netflix property.
Yeah.
No, this scene on paper, but this is what I'm talking about. Weird big swings. On paper, it's all right, this kid's mom is dying of cancer, so she has to die, and then he's gonna put her skull on top of a mountain of skulls. It's such a weird idea, but it works.
Yeah.
It's so sincere.
I will admit doing it as the sun is rising is a little sappy, but
It's cheesy.
it's fine. Does this movie have the greatest trailer of all time?
I don't think I could say that, but it's up there. It's probably I guess it's
So-
probably the best trailer for a 2025 movie.
Funny story is I don't know if I actually watched the trailer. I just heard the boot.
Edit.
I've just seen the edits to Boots. No, my pick for greatest trailer is that first Watchmen one with the remix of that Smashing
That's
Pumpkin
incredible.
song. So good.
It is so funny that that's originally a Batman and Robin song.
Well, what's even funnier is that because that's a remix. That is better than the original song.
Yeah.
I was he just like bounces
Oh
him
god.
up and down like a Looney Tunes.
Yeah. He's like, "All right, Spike, this is fun, but can you get the fuck out of here, please? You gotta go home, dude."
Go.
I want you and that baby out of here.
Just gives the baby to the alpha. Leave. Oh god, does that mean that he'd like rip the baby spine out?
I think he would.
That'll be in the third movie. Tyler, we'll announce that at the end of the show.
But and yeah, this is just such a good classic hero's journey tale. You know, he this kid is a changed person
Yeah.
over the course of these couple days.
They
But
did the thing.
it,
28 days
28 days
later.
later. Where he fucked up though was he just should have stayed home, and he's gonna regret it.
Oh.
And okay, actual criticism. I think this whole sequence with the note and leaving the baby there, like that's all great. But Spike, maybe don't mention in the note that the baby was born from an infected person. Maybe leave that out,
Yeah.
because you know somebody in that community is like, I don't trust this. I want to kill that baby. Like, I would leave that information out, Spike. That's my critique. But they did a really good job setting up the tides and the water rising. Uh, because with his father, like he wants to go, but like he literally can't. Like he is trapped there.
Yeah. No, I ultimately kind of feel bad for this guy.
Yeah, yeah.
Like he lost his son, wife, and now his son is abandoning him.
Hmm. And I love that we waited till the end of the movie to kick in, the music, like the song from the first movie that everyone knows.
Yes.
And it's used so effectively at the end of this movie. And that's the thing that 28 Weeks Later likes too much, because it's really effective in the opening, and then they do it like 5 more times throughout that movie.
Yeah.
Remember the song from the first movie?
No, play it again.
Oh god.
His dad was right though. The more you kill, the easier it becomes.
Yep.
Hey, that was his fish. Don't do that.
No.
Yeah, see, like, I think you could have ended the movie with the dad running after him and then screaming. And then this is just kind of, well, we got to set up the next one. But I don't know. I don't find this as jarring as everybody on the internet did.
For me, if I had to point to one thing, it's just the song choice that I
Yeah.
don't love.
No, they
But
should have just
I'm
went all in
used
and
to
played
it
the
now.
Mighty Morphin Power Rangers theme.
And this is the final bit I'll get into about the theme of this movie being a reckoning for Britain's past, and something I obviously did not know on first viewing is Jimmy here, like his appearance in his cult is modeled after Jimmy Savile. Have you heard of this guy?
That sounds
Who
familiar.
So he was an English media personality, like a DJ, children's show host, a big guy in Britain who I never heard of. And then after he died, just all these allegations and information came out about what a horrible fucking monster he was. There's a lot of things I can't say on YouTube that this guy
Oh,
did, but
God.
needless to say, like literal monster, like actual monster, and most of this was not like known until after he died, which didn't happen until several years after the apocalypse happened in this universe. Uh, so like in the world of this movie, people don't know what this guy was actually like, and I think that's interesting.
That is interesting. Tyler says this should have been an end credit scene. I think this could have been an okay post credit scene. It's not like it's the real ending of the
I would have
movie,
been fine with that.
but I just
Yeah.
my complaint, and part of that is because I am a Power Rangers fan, is I find the Power Rangers comparison to be very surface level at
It
best. It's like, oh, they
Same.
they have different colors, therefore it's Power Rangers. Oh, fuck off.
Yeah, but okay, but where it is there though, it's understanding how this kid would find this group appealing and initially trustworthy.
Yeah,
Because like I can understand the association there, and what it's going for, but like you're not wrong that it is a very surface level comparison.
yeah. That was good movie.
Yeah, it was a good movie.
I'm excited to see Bone Temple when it hits on demand.
And last thing, be remiss if we didn't mention is that the lead Jimmy there is played by Jack O'Connell, who was the lead vampire in Sinners.
Oh, okay.
I
I always forget about because I don't
didn't
recognize him.
Yeah, because he's got that blonde wig. But yeah, if you liked him in Sinners, you get a lot more of him in the next movie. So big thumbs
So
up.
Tyler says, isn't it also Power Rangers because they have the toy at the start? The toy
Yes.
is Spike's. If anything, Jimmy is influenced by the Teletubbies, which is what he was watching on
Yes.
TV at the opening.
Yeah, and the point I was making, that understanding that Spike likes Power Rangers.
Yeah.
So when you see a badass group of multicolored individuals, he's gonna have that like trusting.
Yeah, but if I'm understanding Tyler right, he's saying
That's
it's
all it
because of the
is.
toy. But that wouldn't have anything to do with Jimmy because that wasn't Jimmy's toy.
Yeah, no. And Jay, and again, other detail, he has that cross he got in the opening scene from his dad. But it's
I'm really
down
sad that nobody seems to have put that together because I think that is so much funnier that he's influenced by the fucking Teletubbies to make his
there. Yes.
people wear different colors.
Oh, and the Teletubbies are mentioned in the next one, and it's hilarious.
Yes! That's awesome.
That does come up. But yeah, 28 years later, I was very satisfied with it.
Yeah. All right. Well, thank you for watching, everyone. If you're watching after the fact, that has been our commentary on 28 years later. And we'll come back and do the Bone Temple at some point. If you liked this video, please consider hitting that like and subscribe, and we'll see you guys on the next one. If you're watching live, we're going to take about a 5 to 10 minute break and then play some Predator Hunting Grounds. Next Friday, we will be doing just season 1 of Buffy, kind of an overview. I'm going to let Robert do a lot of the talking on that one because he's never seen it, and I want to get his thoughts and opinions. But yeah, as always, thanks for watching, and we'll be back here in a few.